Hi everyone, this is the start of the frequency and histograms video. So first we need to decide what is frequency. And if we look here, frequency is an event. The frequency of an event is the number of the times that the event occurs. So if it happens more frequently, that means it's occurring more often. So in this example, you can see if 39 people vote for pizza and 28 people vote for hamburgers, the frequency of pizza is 39 and the frequency of hamburgers is 28. So again, the frequency is the number of times an event occurs. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and try these out. These are kind of helping you review some and practicing the words and word choice with frequency. To get that same idea going, we're going to go over what a frequency table is as well. And a frequency table is it groups a set of data values into intervals and shows the frequency for each intervals. Intervals in frequency tables do not overlap, and they do not have any gaps, and they're usually of equal size. So, we're going to go over problem 1, making a frequency table. The first thing, anytime you have a group set of data, you want to put them in order from smallest to largest, just so you have a better idea of what is there. So instead of 7, 17, 14, 2, 7, 9, 5, 12, 3, 10, 4, 12, 7, 15, because those are all jumbled around, what I like to do is list them out from smallest to biggest. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 7, 7, 9, 10, 12, 12, 14, 15, 17. So now they're listed from smallest to largest. So now that I can see my data represented from smallest to largest, it's going to be easier to complete this question for number 8. It says complete the boxes to show the end of each interval of 5. So then count the number of home run data values in the interval and complete the blanks to the right. So now my intervals are 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20. And if you look at your data points, we have it from 2 to 17. So that goes ahead and that represents the data that is there using intervals of 5. Now I need to make a tally mark. So between 1 and 5, I have the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. For 6 to 10, I have 7, 7, 7, 9, 10. 11 to 15, I have 12, 12, 14, 15. And from 16 to 20, I have 17. So after that, so you first create your intervals, then tally them up. Then, after you tally them up, you're going to count the total. So in this first one, from 1 to 5, I have 4 data values. From 6 to 10, I have 5. 11 to 15, I have 4. And 16 to 20, I have 1. So if we scroll down and try to use this data to put it into a frequency table, you can see over here on the left, we have the interval, and on the right, we have the frequency. So that is just going to be our number of times that that data in that interval occurred. So I would have 4, 5, 4, 1, and the intervals are 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20. So this is one way to represent information from a data set. When we go through, that's called a frequency table. And again, it just counts how many times data points in specific intervals occur. The other thing that we're going to go over in this video are histograms. And a histogram is a graph that can display data from a frequency table. So it's taking our data one step further and representing it in a visual matter. So it's one bar for each interval. So again, it's a bar graph. The height of each bar shows the frequency of the interval it represents. There are no gaps, and they're usually equal width. So if we look down here at problem number 2, making a histogram, it says the finishing times in seconds for a race are shown below. What is a histogram that represents the data? So right now, again, we have a set of data points. If we look here, the maximum value is 105, and the minimum value is 80. So our minimum is 80, and our maximum is 105. So the question down here asks us, which of the following sets of intervals could be used for a frequency table to represent the data? So if we look here, 85 to 90 in A, that doesn't represent all of the data points because we start at 80. So this one cannot be the correct option. B, C, and D all include 80, so now we have to look at the specific intervals they have. If we look, B goes from 80 to 85, 86 to 91, 92 to 97, 98 to 103, and 104 to 109. This ends up breaking it down to intervals of 5. If we look at C, it goes from 80 to 85, 90 to 95, 96 to 101, and 102 to 107. This is also incorrect because it has a gap between 85 and 90. Where is that information going to be represented? It can't be. So C is not a valid choice. D, we have 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 95, 95 to 100, and 100 to 105. This has repeats. If you can look here, 85 is in 2 spots, 90 is in 2 spots, 95 is in 2 spots. So remember, there are no repeats of values. No repeats or no overlap. So if there are no repeats and no overlap, this one cannot be it as well. So the only correct one that we could use is B for the intervals. So now if we use those intervals from question 10 on the previous page, we have 80 to 85, 86 to 91, 92 to 97, 98 to 103, and 104 to 109. Now we have to look at our data points, and here I'm going to just again list out our data points that we had from the previous page in order from smallest to largest. So again, I have 80, let's try that again, 80, 82, 82, 83, 89, 89, 90, 93, 95, 98, 99, 102, and 105. So if I break them into those specific frequency intervals, I'm going to have 80 to 85. So that's going to stop here. 86 to 91. 92 to 97. 98 to 103. And then 104 to 109. So in the frequency for the first one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, because 80, 82, 82, 83. So that's 4. 86 to 91, I have 89, 89, 90. So that's 3. From 92 to 97, I have 93 and 95. So that's 2. For 98 to 103, I have 98, 99, 102. And then for the last one, I just have 105. So that's 1. So my frequencies are 4, 3, 2, 3, 1. So now when I go over here to the frequency table, I'm going to draw a bar graph. So on this frequency chart in the histogram, over here in number 12, these lines tended to fade a little bit, so on your paper you should have lines that are going across. Something like that. So the frequency over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down here, along this line, the x-axis, the horizontal axis, that is going to be where we write our frequencies. So we have 80 to 85, 86 to 91, 92 to 97, 98 to 103, and 104 to 109. So the first one was 4, 80 to 85. Second one was 3. And these aren't supposed to overlap, they're just supposed to be the same width. So if you look here, they should go up right where the interval starts to right where the interval finishes. Same thing here, to where the interval starts and the interval finishes. So 92 to 97 was 2. 98 to 103 was 3. 104 to 109 was 1. So if we color these in, we had 2, 3, and 1. So this is a histogram that represents the frequency table that we showed in number 11. The last thing we're going to go over in this video is what a cumulative frequency table is. A cumulative frequency shows the number of data values that lie in or below a given interval. Again, it shows the number of data points that lie in or below a given interval. So if you think about the word cumulative, that means from the start. So if you think when I say your final exam is cumulative, that means it starts from what we do at the end of the year and it covers all the way back to the beginning of the year. So again, anytime we solve a problem, have to deal with something with a data set, I like to make sure that this data set here is put in order from smallest to largest. It just ends up helping me. If you can visualize it this way, go ahead. So I'm going to put it from smallest to biggest. So I'm going to have, let's change that to a pen here. I'm going to have 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 5, 7, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 15. And again, how I come up with that, I just start looking for my smallest value and then working my way up. So zeros, ones, twos, etc. and crossing it out. Then in order to make sure I did it right, I do count the total number of points here and make sure it matches the total of points there. So now when I have my cumulative frequency interval, I calculate the frequencies first. So from 0 to 5, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's my tally marks, and then I'm going to put the actual value here. And the cumulative frequency, so the numbers anywhere from 0 to 5, because that's the only interval we've covered, is just 7. So those are equal. Now, from 6 to 11, we can see we have 7, 7, 9, 10, 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that that's already put in the chart. So now it says over here, cumulative frequency, 7 plus 5. That means what is in this current row, and then add it to what we have already had. So 7 plus 5 would be 12 is our cumulative frequency at this point. The last interval, we have 12 to 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my frequency is 4. And then my cumulative frequency is 12 plus 4 or 16. So since there are 16 data points, the cumulative frequency at the end of the last interval would be 16 because it covers and it explains the number of data values that lie in or below a given interval. So in the last interval, you will have your total number of data points. This is the end of the video for making a frequency and histograms. Please go on to the box plot video